Hey Yugi-Chu, the Dark Magician of Team Sorcerers here, doing more back-to-back What If Wednesday episodes, and this one is another suggestion from my fellow teammate and good friend Express Gaming. What if Rainbow Neos, my third favourite card in the game and second favourite fusion monster, never existed? And what would be my third favourite and third signature deck instead? Well, there's a lot of variables to think about here. Well, one obviously being there'd be no Rainbow Neos hate, and people wouldn't be complaining about it, and or even giving me shit for not banning it from Magician format. Well, first of all, this would impact the GX anime, because in Season 3, this card first appeared in Jaden's duel with Ubel Jesse, when he used super polymerization to fuse Neos with Rainbow Dragon to make this guy. So a completely different fusion would have to be made, or the duel would have to be reverse engineered and have the outcome be completely different, and have Jaden bring out a different boss monster against Ubel, and use something else to defeat Night Shroud possessing Yusuke, or whoever that guy was from Season 4. So yeah, those duels would have to be written differently, and then I guess we'd have a different fusion, which would just take Rainbow Neos' place. I can't think what it would be, but and I don't know how much would change, but yeah, that's one difference. As for the real game, with Rainbow Neos not existing, there'd be no reason to make another deck, really. Well, I'd still make decks, but because Rainbow Neos wouldn't exist, I would, of course, never make a Rainbow Neos deck. But I don't know what would ultimately take its place as the third signature deck. I guess it would be a toss-up between Blue Eyes White Dragon, Magician Girls, or Neospatians. I'd say more likely Blue Eyes White Dragon, maybe. I don't know. Either that, or I just wouldn't have a third signature deck. It's hard to say, although maybe it would end up being Magician Girls down the line, since that's a fourth deck I just ended up deciding to keep forever, considering the plan was to originally keep Dark Magician, Elemental Heroes and Rainbow Neos as the decks that I would keep forever. But yeah, without Rainbow Neos, the goal of trying to win a tournament with an Elemental Hero based deck would be focused purely on my Elemental Heroes, and I'd enter a few more tournaments. I mean, any tournament I would have entered with Rainbow Neos would have been entered with Elemental Heroes instead, during my goal to win a tournament of some kind with this deck. And with more chances at that, I feel like I would have done it eventually. Maybe even sooner than it originally happened. Also, sorry if you can hear the washing machine in the background. Plus, this would slightly change things regarding my legendary hero deck. As although the boss monsters of that deck are Dark Magician, Elemental Hero, Neos and Stardust Dragon, and later on Utopia, that deck was originally a fusion of my Dark Magician, Elemental Hero and Rainbow Neos decks. But this time, Rainbow Neos wouldn't even be in the deck. But the deck can still function fine without it. If anything, it would be less bricky, since Rainbow Dragon wouldn't be present in the deck. The other thing is, later on down the line, I put in a single copy of Rainbow Neos in both my Neospacian and Neos Beatdown decks. But without Rainbow Neos, they wouldn't have that option, so they just have to simply make do without it. But they do work quite well without it anyway. But for Neospacians, it would be harder to win certain games without Rainbow Neos. And of course, I wouldn't have been trying desperately to win a Royal Rumble with Rainbow Neos, when those first started. That would probably, the goal of that would probably shift more towards Elemental Heroes, yeah, that would probably win a Royal Rumble a lot sooner than it actually happened. The other thing is, without Rainbow Neos, Legendary Hero would instead become my third favourite deck of all time to play. Like in this timeline, Legendary Hero is my fourth favourite deck to play, but without Rainbow Neos, it would be bumped up. And when I did that top 60 list of my favourite decks, I'd have to think of something to take the number 60 spot, since everything else would move up one. And I think honestly, oh wait, there is more. Also, without Rainbow Neos, it wouldn't have won Series 6 of the Dark Magician's deck Grand Championship, or like all three of the Hero Grand Championships, or the winner of Series 3 of the Epic Elite Tournament. Something else would win instead. Maybe Blue Eyes White Dragon would even win Series 6 of the main Grand Championship instead. Who knows? I don't know. I don't think I'd end up with a third signature deck for a long time. I'd probably get one a lot later on down the line, and I think eventually it would be Magician Girls. Because there'd be a time where it would be my generic warrior deck. Maybe even I'd consider Blue Eyes White Dragon for that spot, like I said. But ultimately I think that would fall on Magician Girls, most definitely, even though they're not as strong as my Dark Magician and Elemental Hero decks. But yeah, other than that, not too much would be different. There'd still be decks I have that people would complain about, which would annoy me, because like none of my decks do things that don't let anyone play the game. Because playing bullshit that doesn't let people play isn't my style. But yeah, that's another story. So yeah, that's going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, Express Gaming, for this idea, and feel free to let me know if you've got any other ideas for this series, as long as it falls into Yu-Gi-Oh! And Robot Wars. There's anything else, but I don't do. I mean, Back to the Future was suggested at one point, like, well, what if Doc Brown never saw Marty with the Sports Almanac or magazine? But that'd be kind of hard to do, because while I do enjoy watching movies, including the Back to the Future ones, I'm not really a movie boff, so to speak. So something like that would be kind of hard to do. Anyway, that's going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching.